We're going to prove to you today that today is a great day to be a Tiger. Glad to have you here today. It was a wonderful day, as always, in Clemson on game day, and we have the spring game today. We're excited about that. I want to tell everybody how much I appreciate you making the effort to be here this morning for us to tell you what we think is an exciting story for what's going to happen for our student athletes at Clemson. We've been working pretty hard to get this put together over the last several months. This is a project that's taken place longer than 6 months, and a lot of real hard work and effort, and a lot of things have gone on. Many of you have been waiting for this day too, as we've read in the press and all, that a lot of issues about how quick and how soon and how we would do things in the name, image, and likeness business. And I think you'll agree when you see what we have to say today that it's been well worth the wait. Today we are introducing a purpose-driven name, image, likeness collective called Tiger Impact. I know that it's interesting that we're gathered right here in downtown Clemson, because what Tiger Impact is about is a grassroots initiative that started by people who love and serve Clemson. And it's supported by Clemson faithful like you, many of you in this room, and those that are right outside walking along College Avenue that are going to help us be successful in this process. My name is Kendall Alley, and I'm one of the founding members of Tiger Impact. And I'm joined today by Rich Davies and Kevin Jemmis, who are the three of us are former student athletes in the 80s, really, really old athletes in the 80s. But damn proud national champions, just in case you're interested to know. And all of us are really proud graduates of Clemson University. I also want to welcome our members of our board of directors, as well as several who are serving on our advisory committee who have joined us for supportive work, and they're behind us and they're on stage today. All of us are standing up here dedicated, passionate, and let me say this specifically, unpaid volunteers. And I can tell you that's been painful over the last 6 months. But we're not in this for us. We're really in this to volunteer because of the initiative. In addition to Rich and Kevin and myself, our collective board members are Brent Beeson, Sherry Bradshaw, Jimmy Brown, Molly Craig, Doug Lebda, Brian Penner, Bart Proctor, Rodney Williams, Bill Burton, and we have one more, but he's busy today in Augusta. His name is Trevor Ullman. He's reporting for CBS News, or CBS Sports today at Augusta. And I want to thank them for their significant impact, contributions, and donations. So let's give our board a round of applause. In this process, too, we have begun building an advisory committee of former student athletes to help us help the athletes be successful in what we're doing. We have Austin Adams, McKay Bonani, Ben Bulware, Austin Bryant, who's with us today, Jonathan Bird, Dan Garrison, Lucas Glover, Dexter Lawrence, Bob Pauling, who's with us today, Michael Dean Perry, who's with us, Bradley Pinion, Darian Rencher, who's been very helpful in this process for us, Hunter Renfro, Amari Sims, James Skowski, Will Spires, Jim Stuckey, David Treadwell, Charles Warren, and Christian Wilkins. And that list will grow because we've seen energy and effort of everyone wanting to be around this initiative and what it's about. I'd also like to thank Mayor Robert Halfacre from Clemson for being with us today, as well as City Councilman John Fulmer. I also want to take a special second to thank Jay Curry of McAngus, Gans, and McCurry, who's helped us kind of help create and work through getting the athletes involved. And this site and facility was been put together in the last, 12 hours, and to put in perspective, and putting this conference together. I'd like to thank Velda Hughes and Bill Fox of the Hughes Agency, and really most importantly is a woman named Rhonda Henson, who has the incredible challenge of hanging on to Rich Davies, who is a dynamo at everything he does and has been very helpful in getting this completed. Welcome to many of the local media and all of you that have been here. I now want to invite our athletes who have joined us, and today one of the uniquenesses about our announcement is we've already entered into agreements with athletes to represent charities. So coming out are Bo Collins, Miles Murphy, Ruth Arroyo, Will Shipley, Trenton Simpson, Valerie Cagle is not with us, they have a game today, PJ Hall, who's coming up here crippled for us, Renee Lyles, Isaiah Reed, who's one of our soccer guys, and he has the newest national championship at Clemson. Amari Robinson, our basketball player, McKenna Slavic, who, by the way, was just named one of the 32 people invited to Team USA for the USA volleyball team. So welcome to our athletes who are here from this classroom. Name, image, and likeness is a reality in where college sports is going. And I would consider it an and. As you think about the way we have done things in the past, we have had Clemson needing facilities, Clemson and IPTAY involvement, and now we have name, image, likeness that's important for our student athletes. It has absolutely transformed the landscape of college athletics. Clemson will now have an NIL program that we think will that will be able to compete, and we've seen what this have happen literally overnight with rules and things changing as it's got started. And as challenging as this may be, it's a wonderful and exciting opportunity for our more than 400 student athletes and our 19 men's and women's sports here at Clemson. So we think it's going to be great. Rich and Kevin and I have been working on what we think is the most effective solution, innovative and effective solution to assist student athletes developing themselves and serving others while helping them navigate the challenges and the complexity of NIL, and most importantly, doing it with authenticity, integrity, and professionalism. We began this process by asking the following questions. How do we frame this initiative with purpose? Is there a way to do this that very, very closely aligns with Clemson's culture of caring and the way we want to be represented? How can we do this with thought and intention in a way that embraces a learning experience for our student athletes while positively impacting the lives of others? And how can we make this something that Clemson faithful will be proud of? Today, as we're announcing our purpose-driven NIL Tiger Impact, we're harnessing the passion and drive of these student athletes to serve and further the extraordinary work of hundreds of community charities, and many of them are represented today, and you'll hear from them, many of them in the upstate. These community charities have a profound impact on the lives of countless members of our communities. With exceedingly few resources and often working quietly behind the scenes, these community charities struggle to tell the world of their good work. Elevating the profiles of these charities not only achieves the recognition they deserve, but furthers their missions and help drive funding that can serve them more. We believe that our approach will be a national model demonstrating how you leverage name, image, likeness of university student athletes, how it can be done in a positive impact on our communities and the athletes themselves. I now want to introduce fellow founding board member Rich Davies to tell you more about Tiger Impact and his dream of how it was formed. Rich?
Good morning, and thank you, Kendall. And thank you to everyone who's gathered here today. I also want to thank our special athletes that are here, our founding donors, our board, and the advisory committee. Wonderful charities as well that have done amazing work in the local communities in which you serve and positively impact the lives of others. Kendall was dead on when he said that NIL has transformed the landscape of college athletics. Gone are the days of simply showing up to watch the best athletes compete on home turf. NIL changes everything. We realize that. We also know that Clemson has a rich, cherished history and culture of caring. Going forward, the Clemson faithful will need to get off the bench and need to be all in. A challenge to get involved. For Tiger Impact to make a difference, to make sure that Clemson can attract the best players in the country while complementing our cultural values nourished here in Clemson, we need the Clemson faithful to help us. Let me speak for a minute on how Tiger Impact expands Clemson's culture of giving and service among student athletes and their supporters. Our mission is simple: to provide student athletes with the opportunity to further develop themselves as part of their education while here at Clemson, and serve others by providing much needed support to community charities. Tiger Impact was born authentically in a discussion I had at a function on campus last fall with Bella Atisso. Bella is a cancer survivor, and you'll meet her shortly. While she was undergoing chemotherapy, her husband was working 3 jobs and trying desperately to take care of their young children. It was an enormously difficult time for her and her family. Once her cancer was in remission, in answer to prayer, she felt called to help others and help other parents afflicted by this awful disease by collecting their kids with her minivan and taking care of them, nurturing them, and helping them during their difficult time. She and her husband, Aaron, have started N Shelter right here in Seneca. As she told me her story that day on campus, I remember saying to her, wow, Bella, this is such an amazing thing that you're doing, answering your call and helping others. If only more people knew about what you were doing, I know so many people would want to support you in this. That's when the good Lord put this initiative in play. Here's the thing. There are hundreds of community charities, just like N Shelter, that are doing great work and having a positive impact on our community, but struggle with few resources and little recognition, competing in this increasingly competitive social media world. Smaller charities need help with PR and marketing and can't afford marketing departments and PR engagements. For these charities and for the people they serve, it's critical to get the word out in order to raise money, awareness, and support. A dollar invested in PR support is a higher return on investment than just getting a dollar. So I did some research and I learned that 90% of revenue is received by just 2% of charitable organizations. So the solution, inspired by Bella and the work she and her husband are doing, is to form a purpose-driven NIL collective to contract Clemson student athletes to provide